Ahoy there, I'm Tiny Pirate and welcome back to Life as Feudal Forest Village. Today we're going to build a port, hopefully get an expedition going. And we're going to start looking at the castle buildings because they're kind of interesting. So let's have a quick reprise of where we're at. It's year 12 and we're at 61 people. Our baby boom has sort of come and gone. I think it's going to be time to help that along a little bit soon. We have quite a good set of farms going on here, and I have to admit everything to me anyway is looking just so pretty. It's just a very lovely game, isn't it? Looks just so natural. Pretty. Anyway, I think we can first crack on with a little bit of building here. So I've already got the old shipyard prepared, and I wonder where I can squeeze it. Kind of a shame I can't put it right. So tuck it in here. Actually, you know what? I reckon if I did a little bit of terraforming, just raise it to this level and just did it like this, maybe? Just that would probably let it happen. I'll let them crack on and give that a go. Do we need anyone else doing that? No, we don't. So let's have a quick reprise. Everything seems to be going good in the food production. Got a reasonable amount. I'm a bit worried about the direction that's taking, but we can fix that, don't worry. Kindling and everything is fine. Honey production, fine. Wood, we've got a metric ton. We have a pretty good amount of everything else running. Charcoal is going great. Schooling is happening. Tools are fine. Clothes are fine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. What I'm thinking of doing next is clearing out a little bit more and basically working up this way. And so for that, so I need to get a little bit. Oh, here we go. We got this built in now. So let's see if I can put it down. Let's see. There we go. That's going to be beautiful. And voila! And just like that, the board is complete. Look at it. Quite a beautiful big thing. So we get to build expeditions. We don't know what they bring back, but they bring back a variety of stuff. And actually, look at that. That's a pretty good price. So I've got the flax coming in, so that's going to be just fine. What do you need for an expedition? A lot of builders? I believe that's probably correct. You need to build a boat and stock it and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's the first thing, sorry. Yes, first of all we build it, then we stock it up with supplies so it can go on an expedition for us and bring back new goods. So, we'll let it do that. Meanwhile, I've got a little orchard in over here. I want to kind of repeat these patterns of orchards and fields. I'm clearing a bit of space because I need to figure out where to grow next. I have a shed going in over here. I'm a bit worried that one of the reasons why I see these fields here are still being harvested. These fields are actually already through into their second harvest season. I've just told them to sort of get harvesting nice and early. I don't think these guys have yet finished their first harvest, I suspect. And that is because everyone's so far from both the storage and their housing. They've got a lot of walking around to do. So what I want to do is see if I can help things along a bit. At least give them some faster roads to travel. I think they're already maybe set to turn into stone, but they're not being turned into stone. So we'll just make sure that that happens. But what I want to kind of do now is think about where to grow more farms and houses. So I quite like the idea of just putting rows of housing down this way. But I could also get into some new production. So I'm kind of tempted to throw down. I'm going to kind of look at the lay of the land here. It's a little bit mucky. And look, it kind of slopes unpleasantly. I think I can just terraform it at this level here, so it won't do like, is that one going to be fine? Yeah, around there. If we do that, it shouldn't cause too much distress. I don't want to have violent kind of hills and cliffs, but I do want a really good amount of space for some decent fields, at least within a tolerance, right? Reasonably flat-ish would be fine. Poke it right into that corner there and up to the edge of this field seems sensible. Do we want to go as far as that? It doesn't seem that extreme. So if I get them to crack on with that, I'll put in more fields, and then at the other end here I want to start building housing, and on this side I'll probably put in Well, that barn's okay. But there is quite a good castle barn here. And that thing is basically massive, and it will take all the food we could want. And there are other useful things in here. The marketplace where I can do some trading, but I really need a donkey to transport goods. That's under one of these menus somewhere. I can't remember which one. I think, yeah, here it is, the donkey caravan thing. I don't know. Caravans are very fiddly and a bit time consuming. I don't know if we want to do that, but we do want to get more fields out. So we need them to crack on and do that. Likewise, we need them to really get on and get this built. So what are you all doing? Pretty soon I'll have your winter working done. You're almost clearing out those baby potatoes. You guys taking your time. But that's not the end of the world here. What are these piles of logs here for? Oh, and we should also make sure we've got some decorations at this end. So that is going to be at least a scarecrow about there, say. So I'm sure that will be just fine eventually. Not too bad. Well, winter is here, and conveniently we've got a ship sorted out, so we can go and look for some new things. I'm kind of inclined for new animals because that might be entertaining. So, but I don't know. Animals need protection, and that's a real pain in the neck. I think it's worth it. So we need a bunch of pies and stuff. I'm just going to tell them to crack on. We've got 7 builders doing that, and I've got everyone else basically clearing space. And this is very hard to see in the middle of the blimmin'... In the middle of the snow, it's very hard to see our fields. But at least we're quite close to seeing a bunch of stuff cleared out. And, look at that. It's pretty, isn't it? Looking very fine indeed. The little storage shed I've just put up over here is filling up quite nicely and being very handy for the nearby fields. So that's good. One of the things I realised we don't have is a funeral pyre or a crypt, and I'm tempted to put possibly one of each up. So a funeral pyre, where'd be good? Maybe on the edge of town here, and a crypt. So that's just basically where they chuck bodies when they have people die and they don't know what to do with them. So, I don't know, on the edge of town, the graveyard here, out the back. Why not? So we'll leave that there. Get a couple of people building. And I've got a bunch of people working in the mine as well, so it's probably going to expire soon, I suspect. We'll run out of resources there fairly soon. Oh, very close. So we do also need to put down another mining facility. Where are you, stone mine? Where shall we put you? There's not many fantastic options around here. I don't know. Can we fit you on the edge of this here? No, I didn't think so. Might have to be further up here. Oh, they just terraformed that, which is fine by me. Stone 5,900. Yep, that'll be good. So I think we can definitely throw in some more fields here. I am inclined to see what we can get away with in terms of... Well... Oh, look at that. Scarecrow can't be terraformed. So we need a road here first of some kind. So it wants to run... I don't know, we can go around. We can go around the scarecrow like that, I suppose. And from there... No, let's do a... Okay. That... Oh, actually, I need to wait for that to finish so I can see a little better. And then we can lay down the road around it, or the field around it. So the funeral pyre is up. Next time someone dies, we might see them, I don't know, thrown on here. I don't know why we necessarily have to worry about old people dying, giving people the plague. I thought you just chuck them in the ground, but no, apparently they get burned. Over here, the crypt is almost complete, and that will be quite a pretty addition to the town as well. I actually think it could go very well with a statue nearby to commemorate our dead. There we go. And once auto save is done, good. 11 people building and everyone else just rocking down these trees. I've told them to clear a bunch of land. So what would a road up here look like? Where could we fit it? No, not tell me it's all the way out here. That seems a little ridiculous. I know we need to get... Oh, here's early spring, isn't it? I know we need to get that going. But... do we really have to? I don't know. I might have to take this down. That seems a bit crazy. I might have to deconstruct that lamp and move it. Likewise, the scarecrow. I think I'll do both of them. And then we'll figure out what to do to tidy up these fields. So we have a good space here. And you know what? I'm kind of inclined to put down that we're going to put a house in. It's going to happen. And which way around are these ones? It's going to happen, and we want to be ready. So it's going to be that way around. And can we... You know what? I am perfectly okay with that. Great. Is it going to be neat? Is it going to line up? I think it'll be fine. Yep, I like lining up. Lining up's fine. So now we need an absolute ton of people doing stuff. But we also need people to be farming in our fields. So we might just let some of that rock. Okay, are you all ready? We've got this production going on here. I've got them baking pies and bits and bobs to try and fill out the requirements for the expedition. Because if you look, they need pies and clothes and what have you. So that's all coming, but it's going to take a little while. Over here, apples. So we're all ready. Let's see what happens if we put people in. Are they going to start farming, or is it still too cold? Yes, they are going to start farming. So it's time to cut back on other jobs and get everybody involved in producing what we need, which is food. The terraforming's been done around here. This mine is kind of a pain, but I think we can just throw in some... What would a 10 by 22 field look like around here? Not quite big enough. If it was like that, 10 by... No, it needs to be one longer. That's 23, 22. I want to get this neat, because I'm a neat freak, and that's just how I roll. 10 by 22. And throw a bit of road down here just to kind of mark it. And then next to it, we're going to need, definitely going to need a well. Where are you? Well. Yep. And on this side, another road. How close? That sort of close. Oh, no, not that road. Cancel you tiny road. And then another 10 by 22. From I suspect here. 10 by 22. Okay, that's going to be fine. And we'll get a scarecrow in. We'll get it specified now. Over here-ish. And if we put one up this end of the field, that... Yeah, that should be a good pile of new production when it comes in. I'm a little sad it has to be a little offset. But I don't know, that gives it its natural feel, doesn't it? We don't want to have everything too mechanically aligned. Other than that, we're kind of waiting for eggs and what have you to be shipped around. I've got to get vegetable pies made, and they need eggs, which is a bit unfortunate. Other than that, I don't know, things are ticking along. It looks like our graveyard, our wannabe graveyard is in here. Already got one body in it. That's going to be lovely. And our house is slowly going up here. Looks like it just needs builder time. So that's going to be great. I should also fix, while I'm here, I should try and fix these ramps, because these kind of slopes... come on. No, I think it's because I've got... the building's too close to the edge. Can I just raise... Can I just... No. I just want to raise... like this amount of ground. I'll see if I can get it to do it properly. Yeah. Well, let's see what they do. It'd be nice to set up like a proper ramp, and I'm still waiting for this patch of ground. In theory, I'm waiting for it to be leveled off, but I don't know, they don't seem to want to do it yet. And then I can have my nice, neat pathway all the way up here. And wow, look how much food has been piled up in these small sheds. So when we get up here, it's definitely going to be time to throw in some more buildings. Mainly I'm going to start thinking about forestry over here. That's fine. I'm going to start thinking about livestock and possibly fencing off some of these areas to keep them safe, or at least putting in more hunting lodges or moving hunting lodges. Because we really haven't had a single animal attack down here, so I'm starting to think maybe we've pushed back the wild animals. We just don't see them in this area. Then again, there's a bear there, and I'm pretty sure only our hunter from this spot and a fox will go over and be able to take them out. It's late spring and the thunderstorms are coming, but we have this beautiful house built up. What's different? Are they just different? I think they're just different styles. So we've got a slightly different style there and a slightly larger style here. They're not upgraded or anything, although I'd love to know what that would do. Extremely high pregnancy chance, capacity 12, residence happiness, very happy. No, I think we can hold off on producing even more babies now. We've just given everyone a whole new house to move into, so we should see a little flurry of pregnant people pretty soon, expecting a baby. So I think that house is nicely sited. I do want to see what I can do about, I don't know, these roads. I think we'll just have to see that one seems okay, and this one here, not really. That's very annoying. What can I do? I'm gonna try and oh, they just did the terraforming for me, so that's great. Now I want to get a ramp. Come on, you guys. Really? Just let me do it. No, not that way. I'll figure it out. So it looks like we eventually did fix this little problem here. That's good, because I was worried it was getting a little bit difficult for people to move around. So we've cleared up sort of a transport bottleneck there. I'd love to be able to do the same here, but I suspect that anything we try will see us crashed into... I mean, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I can't click to move. They don't seem to want to use that route, but they will walk along the edge of the houses, so that is fine by me. Got a field in here. I'm just putting some oats in because we are getting a little low and we don't want to starve our guys to death. Oops. We have had a couple of harvests here of flax and we have an absolute ton of it now, but I don't want any more. I really need some potatoes. We are going to get a little, not too bad on food, but I would worry if it lasted much longer. The expedition, good news, the expedition has gone out and we're expecting it back in spring of 14, which is a little bit further away than I'd hoped, but they do take a little bit of time. That's okay, we're just going to be patient. Meanwhile, it's probably time to tell our bakers to head back over to make fish pies. One of them's on fish, one of them is on meat. That seems sensible enough for now. Tools situation seems fine. Everything else is growing very well. I've got a herbalist out. I have no idea why. That is more herbal leaves than I think we'll need in our entire lifetime playing this game, but that's okay. So it's just a matter of waiting now, waiting to see what comes in and checking how our birth rate does, because yeah, these houses could really produce a lot of babies if we're not careful. 6 new ones isn't too bad. The food situation, that's fine. So it's time to let that summer roll, get the harvesting done, and come back when it's sort of wintry and ready for some projects. It's fall and someone's had a mining accident. Look, we're currently burning up their corpse, and for some reason this produces a I don't know if it's a happiness circle around or a protection circle. Oh, that weather is so annoying on 10 times speed. So yes, we've got a funeral pyre burning and all the vegetables and what have you coming in. This field's up here doing fine. I've sort of terraformed more space here because I am going to want to put in, not sure, we'll see what comes back from that trip. Possibly a large livestock pen, and we need to tear down this hunting cabin to do it. Probably I'll put it right here because I would like sort of coverage of the area. But we need to get a bit of flat space for that first, and I might expand this terraforming into a fairly large region. vegetables and apples and what have you are being harvested. I was going to tell them to crack on because it's full already. Look at that at nighttime. That looks great. Sort of Viking burial minus the boat, right? I mean, that's pretty choice. I like the look of that. Wow, very cool. So we also want to see our boat come back from the expedition fairly soon, and then I think we can get our next stage on, which is, I think, maybe not another house just yet. Definitely a, I don't know, some kind of castle building, perhaps. Possibly a barn or a smithy or a market, but we'll see. I might even have a fiddle with some of these castle gates and what have you. Winter is here, and so our workforce is highly enabled to get a lot of stuff done. And what I really want to do is to create... I'm kind of tempted to create a bit of a perimeter, to be perfectly frank. I could throw down some walls and experiment with some of the castle parts, which are... I've had a little go with them. Kind of pretty. Not very functional at all, to be perfectly frank, but at least they're nice looking. So we could have a little go with that while we wait for our expedition to complete. Look at all of these people. They're just hauling vast amounts of stuff everywhere. Unfortunately, we're basically filling everything up, so it's probably time for some more storage. And I'm thinking where would be useful to put it that would make sense. There is probably not a crazy idea, because we do want to be doing a bunch of building in this area, and it's quite close to the barn, so well-trodden route and all of that. So our builders can crack on and get that job done. Look at them, they're all like little ants running around, hauling those resources. Meanwhile, the chickens continue to grow. A bit disappointed with the chickens. I thought 45 chickens would produce a lot more eggs, but they barely trickle in. So some kind of enclosed livestock area in this vicinity where I can ensure the safety of our minions and our people and our produce could work quite well for us in terms of livestock, especially if we get cows or something coming back from the expedition. That would be very nice indeed. I'm thinking that over here... Why are you complaining? What does that even mean? No room to store resources. Yeah, I'm actually thinking that over here might be a good spot to place a tavern. So I'm just going to slow down time a little bit. There is a bit of room on the edge. You're very broken terrain. I could put it down here a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have to terraform, aren't I? Or something. Because everything's a bit of a mess here. So a tavern there would be good. It's relatively close to the housing and what have you. I figure that's a good thing. And I think if we can just cut this terrain to size, we will be able to have a good spot for a tavern there next to the housing and relatively close to a bunch of food storage, because it does use oats and bits and bobs to produce the booze that we want. So that's going well here. Warehouse going up, and winter is progressing. We have a metric ton of food, not all high quality food. So another baker again. More buildings. I think I can rank them up along here. A baker or two even. Probably not a bad idea, because we'll have, in theory, plenty of meat and eggs and vegetables in the vicinity, comparable to what is available to the two bakers down here. And the mill is close by, so it's probably putting out a ton of flour into this shed. Yes, it is. In fact, I might even cut back on that flour production right now. It seems a little... Baking, yes. Flour, no. It seems a little counterproductive. Have just so much available, clogging up. Okay, we better crank up the firewood. So much, flour available. Just filling up our stores. Look at the work parties out there. There's just dozens of people clearing, terraforming, slaughtering sheep, generally messing about night and day. I like it. Minions, work faster, work harder. And we shall soon have a reward, hopefully, in the form of some kind of visiting ship. A lot of idle people while we wait for the storehouse to be built. It makes me think I need to probably put one on this side of the community. Sort of thinking around here. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Warehouse. That fits in really neat next to the mill, or the, what is it, the clay deposits there. And if I put it there, it's not even going to get in the way of anything. What I have to be quite careful of is that stuff tends to pile up in one or other place. And that can be really problematic. Like if this place piled up with bad food, everyone here wouldn't enjoy good food. They wouldn't bother to walk down to, say, here where there's pies and high quality food. They just come to the closest food, get these, you know, measly vegetables, and maybe feel sorry for themselves with their boring vegetable diet. So that's a bit of an oddity with the game, and it's kind of annoying that they won't, you know, treat themselves to decent food. But it is what it is, and you can sort of mitigate it later on with caravans, but that's very fiddly. There's no min-max on the shipping of stuff with a donkey caravan. Stuff just gets moved until it's empty from one spot to another, which is what the what this sort of where is it, donkey caravan thing will do for you. And with that, the voyage is back. What did it bring us? Cattle. Oh, spring has arrived, and if we look around here, let's see what's going on. So the storage warehouse is up and they're busy moving everything they can to it. The bakery, I've got another bakery going up here. Might try and rack 2 of them here with a well for them to share, and then we're going to have some livestock pasture in here. Over here, still waiting on all these trees to be felled so I can put in a tavern, and I think pretty promptly, let's see what sort of livestock space I can get going here. So if we wanted some kind of cattle pasture, what would it look like potentially? I mean, we can get, that's a pretty decent size, 30 by 22. I actually think I want a bit more. I really want to smash that size out, so I'm going to have to expand this, make a decent cattle pasture, and put in fences. So I'll show you what these look like. So if I come down here, the basic castle wall looks like this, and you can rotate it around. So I could come along here and potentially string castle walls all the way along. It is reasonably expensive and time consuming to do, and you can actually get some other cool features. You can get gates, you can get these little stone towers, which in theory shoot animals. I'm not sure they actually work. And you can finally get a keep. It's supposed to make people more efficient and to provide research options. I haven't seen it do either, so I'm not quite sure what it's for. Might not be fully feature complete yet. Anyway, if you'd like to see me throw up a massive stone wall in the next episode, do let me know. The other option is just the good old and simple wooden palisade. Not nearly as exciting, but it would do the trick quite well. So you let me know what you would prefer. Massive stone wall, string it all together along the edge here, along the frontier. I might have to terraform the heck out of it a little bit. Perhaps raise a bit of a ditch, keep it all about the same height, make it a bit easier for our chaps to terraform, I don't know, and for them to build on. You let me know what you think in the comments below if you would. Until next time, I've been Tiny Pirate. Thanks for watching. Great to have you around. Good night.